I think on a Wednesday we had her towed. The day prior to that, we had plowed. And to my belief, it was her parked right on Moore Ave and the two parking spots. And I had placed a warning sticker on the car, little placard, kind of as a courtesy to say, please don't.
Sean,
Yep.
Sean, she's coming on. So do you want to hang on? We'll start over.
Yeah, start over. I want to hear what she has to say.
All right, hang on, hang on.
Hang on to this one.
Hang on, I'll tell you when she's on.
What's Lucy's last name?
No idea. Trying. Lucy, are you there? Lucy, we can see you, but we can't hear you. Lucy, can you hear us?
Why can't I hear anything? I can't hear anything.
Lucy, can you hear us?
No. Very light.
Turn up your volume, maybe. We can hear you now.
Okay. Well, I'm here because of having to pay for having my car towed out of the parking lot on Moore Avenue. And I had to pay the day that I got my Social Security check, and it took all my money. And that was like December, or whatever month we're in, February 3rd. And it left me with no money. I don't even have gas to leave here now. I'm unable to pay for anything. I had to pay them $212. There was the village parking lot was blocked. My driveway was blocked. I left the house like at midnight to go get ibuprofen from the gas station. I came back. I couldn't get it either place. I got in partially behind the flower shop. And I guess at 3 a.m., somebody had the sheriff call the car to be towed into Farmington. And they charged me $212. It even took me a while to figure out if my money had been deposited into the bank. I tried to pay them with a card. I don't have that much credit. And right now, I just have to sit here.
So Lucy, can you hear me? This is Gary Haddon, the mayor. We can see you, but can't hear you right now. Well, this isn't going to be very productive. Lucy, are you still with us at the meeting? She's gone.
I think she fell off.
Like your screen was frozen there for a minute.
Because you could hear it fall off.
Sean,
Yes, sir.
do you want to start over again? And if we have to interrupt you again, hopefully we don't, but
Okay. I can
just
do
want,
that.
just want to know, dates and times, whatever you can give us.
Prior
Oop.
Day morning, then it was Wednesday, Thursday. It was 2 days consecutive, however it fell. I had given her a courtesy warning, which goes over the parking regulations. And then the following, and at 2:30, 3 o'clock, the plow street. Came in to the north parking lot off.
Sean, I don't
Yep.
know why, but you're breaking up. I don't know if everybody else is hearing the same thing.
Yeah, it's hard.
I'm hearing the same. He's breaking up, so I'll elaborate for him. Can you hear me fine?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so anyhow, Sean, we had a storm the night before. The day before, she got a courtesy warning and that I emailed all you guys the blue ticket. So the blue ticket says you can't park in the north parking lot. So her excuse was that she couldn't get in her driveway. Well, when I plow snow or we plow snow at the DPW, everybody knows, and you guys are all village board members, that you're getting your driveway is all plugged up with snow. She decided to park in the north parking lot, which we plow, and the other side is designated as no parking. One side is overnight parking. She got a ticket, not a ticket, she got towed. She got towed because she said that she could not get in her driveway. That's not my problem. That's not the DPW's driveway or problem. That's basically what happened. I wasn't here, but this is what I rely on Sean's.
So Sean, she got a courtesy warning the day before the storm?
The day before we plowed also, and she got a courtesy warning. The day that we got, I don't know, we probably had a foot of snow that morning. And there was no more courtesy warnings because we had to move this.
And she was in the north parking lot.
Yes,
Not on the overnight parking side, but the other side, the south
Yep.
side?
yes.
Okay.
So I actually reached out to Farmington Service after talking to Mike Crowley. She can actually submit her towing bill to AAA and they will reimburse her.
That sounds like a good solution to me.
Don't you have to have AAA to do that?
Well, it's sort of funny though that AAA towed it and then she had it towed back to her house. So I'm not, if you want to conceive into her towing bill, to have it towed back to your home, that's up to you guys. I think that's wrong.
But well, Farmington Towing is who everyone calls. They're the ones that are contracted with everyone. Well,
Um,
So Lucy,
Yes.
did you hear the discussion about AAA?
partially.
with
You should be able to submit your bill to AAA.
They said no. Because of because I need to call AAA to ask them to come to tow my vehicle in order for AAA to pay for it. They said everything changed with it. I did try to get that. He said no. Why is this going away?
So you're asking the village board to do what?
To pay for that $212. It was 5 miles. It seems ridiculous that Farmington Towing charges that much for a tow. It wasn't impounded, but the bill says towing. I don't know why he towed it. He said that it was there, that prior to that evening, I was sick that day. And I felt so bad. It was like midnight when I went to get the ibuprofen at the gas station.
Well, the point remains that you parked in a no parking zone, which, has to do with wintertime rules and regulations under the code. And it's really not our fault that you did that.
But at midnight, there was nothing plowed. That was as far as I could get the car. Until the next morning, the other side still was not all plowed out. There was nowhere to park there. And the regular snowplow did Moore Avenue. Actually, both sides of the road were barricaded. I couldn't get in either side. I got in that side because there was less snow there. I wish I didn't have to park in here where I live at all. I wish I didn't live in here, but that's besides the point. This is terrible.
Well, ma'am, the problem we have is everybody in the village goes through the same situation with their driveway when the plow goes through. And it's not something we can change. The road has to be plowed. And it's every individual's responsibility or every household's responsibility to take care of their driveway. And you're asking us to waive that just for you.
No, I'm not. It was just, my car was only there for an hour though. He had it towed away at 3 a.m.
But you did get a courtesy notice. You did
No, I
get
got
a warning.
nothing. Nothing. No.
So let me chime in a little bit. So where you were parked, so it says from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. That is Ontario County nation or countywide. That's the law. And then the village wrote another rule from north parking lot, you can't park on that side of the road. So I can't believe that my guy would give you a courtesy warning, then have you towed the next morning because you can't get your own driveway. I understand that you can't get in the driveway, but who plows your driveway or who shovels it?
Who does? It's Larry Collier, and he hired somebody to plow our driveway. But it was whoever does Moore Avenue and Webster Avenue had just gone down the road while I was getting the ibuprofen at the gas station. And when I got back, I was going to go back over and move my car, and I waited, and that wasn't plowed yet. I don't know when they cleared out the other side of the road, because the next morning that's still, when I went to look for my car, the other side still wasn't cleared out. It wasn't cleared out. They hadn't plowed. Even if people had moved their cars. It's with this computer, boy, my internet doesn't go in here.
So tonight we're supposed to get a snowstorm up to 14 inches. Where's your car tonight?
It's sitting out by my door. They evict me every month. This is ridiculous. I can't live with these people any longer. Yeah, I know. It's here, but I'm probably going to go over in that lot and park in the right spot. I know where to park. It was just that day there wasn't any option. The end of the parking lot was barricaded with snow. There was a lot of snow that day. The signs were covered. If I didn't live here, I wouldn't know you couldn't park there.
So my last question, how many years have you lived here?
2.
Long?
2.
I didn't catch that one, but
She said 2 years, John.
2 years?
Yes, 2 years. He's got 7 apartments here. There's like room for 2 cars to park in here. It's terrible. The people who own this are terrible. I know. But like the other tenants that just left in December, they used to park over in the lot because there isn't parking here. And the way it's going, I'm gonna not park here.
I have no more questions, Gary.
I guess I don't know how you want the board to resolve it. You want the village to pay for the towing,
Yeah, I was maybe.
but
I have,
we're not going to pay for towing your car because you violated the code. I mean, if any other board member wants to.
why didn't the sheriff come and tell me to move the car instead of calling Farmington Towing? If they
I
could
can answer that
read a
question,
license
so-
plate number, he could have come.
I can answer that question too. So any ticket that you get in the village is $50 for a parking ticket. So try to do a courtesy. So we gave you a courtesy warning that morning. A storm was coming. We had to tow it. If I would have the sheriff ticket it, would have been $50.
Yeah, I did. Right.
And then
I didn't get a
tow bill.
one. My car, somebody slashed my tires here. This is getting out of hand. It looked like somebody stuck a crowbar through my tires here. Great. I'm so poor. This is sick. And the day that I got my check, didn't even know if it had gone in.
John, is there a place for her to park that's legal?
Yep, north parking lot on the north side. It's all posted, Mike.
Right.
And is there typically parking there?
They all parked there, other than she didn't do it that night.
There were other cars parked there though?
All of them.
Okay.
But does it fill up on the north side, or are there open spots typically?
There's probably 15 spots left. I mean, it's not close to her place. I mean, it's not close to her house. I mean, you might have to walk a little bit. It's first come, first serve, but you know, it goes all the way from Hopper Hills all the way to Tim Maher's or Town Hall on the north side.
Right.
So we can clean that whole side up nice. So when all the business owners come to work that next morning, it's all clean for them. Then when all them guys go to work during the day, we clean up the other side. That's why we have the regulation. That's why we have the rule.
I totally understand that. I worked for Monroe County Highway. I worked for East Bloomfield. I've worked outside my whole life and I do understand that. But that night there was nowhere to put the car and I was sick. And at the time that it happened, it was weird and nobody did notify me.
Well,
There was a pickup truck there. There was a van there. When I parked there, I wasn't the only vehicle. It still wasn't 2 o'clock, but
So Sean Meehan, you still
Yes.
on?
Yep.
So in the morning, when you went to plow the snow in that parking lot, how many vehicles were there?
One on the south side and a couple dozen on the north side parked legally.
Right, so there was only one car where we plow.
Yes, sir.
That's all I need to know.
So, John, typically in a winter season, how many cars do we have towed?
Well, like tonight, Mike, if we're gonna get 14 inches of snow and they're all on the road, I could do a dozen. I give a lot of people courtesy. So, I mean, you know, when it's a snowstorm and we have 10 inches or 8 inches and we're trying to clear it, I tow 'em.
and John, a courtesy is just a ticket from the village?
Yeah, so I have courtesy tickets, the ones I emailed you guys. So we put it on the windshield, just like what I ran into here a couple weeks ago that I told you about with the one on Alpine. I gave her 8 of them. And, you know, if they don't oblige by it, I mean, that's courtesy ticket. It says right on it's courtesy. Do not park here. Please don't park here. And we do it on Main Street. But the problem is the sheriffs or the troopers or whoever came there, they're not going to give them a ticket for parking on the road. They're just going to tow the car. Especially if it's on the road, especially like tomorrow. I mean, if you got 14 inches and I can't get my plow trucks through, what am I supposed to do?
I totally understand you. I wouldn't want to plow Victor, that's for damn sure. God.
I mean,
96 is so bad.
I can't knock on every single homeowner's home and tell them to move their cars.
Right.
I mean, the law is from November 1 to April 1, no parking on any street in Ontario. I'm talking Ontario County, not the Village of Victor. Ontario County.
Including the village of Victor.
Oh, everybody. It's a county law.
So Lucy, I don't think we're going to be able to do a whole lot for you in this situation. You're going to have to deal with Farmington Service and
AAA.
AAA or whoever.
Okay, my insurance company's even taking forever to even deal with tires and this is, I was so poor, I had to go buy 2 new tires. I don't know who in the world would do that. Even the state trooper said it's usually something like domestic violence. Somebody came back here and it looked like they stuck a crowbar through my tires. How weird. I don't know a person who would do that to me. I don't know a person that would do that. It was the weirdest slashes in those tires. And I have a dog here with a real loud bark. Apparently she didn't hear that happen. My car was parked back here that night. And somebody tried to break in this house too. This is awful. I'm so afraid in here.
But Lucy, I don't know what else to tell you. You know, the guys did their job. That's all I can tell you. And you say, you know, you understand, you've worked for a highway
Yes.
before. You understand what it is when they have to go out and plow. And if they were to stop for every car that's in their way and go knock on the door and wait for somebody to come out and move it, the roads wouldn't get plowed. Not to mention
Well,
the safety hazard that would create.
But that he said the sheriff said, or Farmington said the sheriff called that in at 3 a.m. That's a weird time. I don't think it was plowed at that time. And at that time, the sheriff could have told me.
I don't know. Sean, what time did you?
I normally start between 2:30 and 3 o'clock, Gary.
Okay.
That's
Is there
my,
because there's somebody at the highway barns watching the weather and you get a call.
yeah, that's when we normally go in. When we have to remove snow, it's 2:30 to 3 o'clock.
So Lucy, I understand the predicament you're in, but you're going to have to understand the predicament we're in. We're not going to pay for it.
Well, I'll try AAA again, but I don't know. Farmington said they refused to even attempt that. They said AAA is not going to do that. You have to call it in. They towed it back without a problem.
I would,
And
I would contact AAA and your insurance company.
well, my insurance company got it. They can't still taking care of the tires. They're bad. All right. No, I'm just waiting so long. I'm broke. This is awful. The price of gas is going up.
I
No, I
understand.
gotta move. I gotta move out of here. I can't take this anymore. He's run everybody out of these apartments and he says he's getting all good people in here. For the past year and a half, I shovel all this all the time myself. Now he's got the plow who did a real bad job. It's bad.
All right, Lucy, I wish you the best. Good luck
Okay.
with what you have to do.
All right, thank you. I don't.
Have a good evening.
I'm stuck. Okay, you too. Thank you. My screen got expanded. This computer.
Okay,
Hey, Gary?
John, we're still with you.
Yeah, I had to log back. For every 10 minutes, my thing logs out, so
Okay,
dismiss Sean Meehan.
yeah. Sean, thanks for being a part of it tonight.
No problem. Thank you.
Have
Thank
a
you,
good night.
Sean.
Thanks, Sean.
So the first thing I have is transfer of funds for equipment permissive referendum.
Okay, looks like transfer of funds for the 2021 backhoe, 2021 loader, and 2021 pickup. Authorizing treasurer to transfer funds not to exceed 359,000 from the equipment reserve to the central garage account for that equipment. And this kind of financial transfer requires, for the public's benefit, requires what's called a permissive referendum, which is a 30-day time period, provided we approve this resolution. It's a 30-day time period from today, from which the public can comment on the proposed transfer of money. So is there a motion for this resolution?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Carol. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Bob. Any comment on the transfer of funds and the subsequent permissive referendum? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? None. JT, what else you got?
We're doing tree trimming still, you know about the storm tomorrow, and we're supposed to have one Thursday and Friday. Also, I would like to invite the board members that have not seen the DPW or the sewer treatment plant. So please email me so we can do a walkthrough, so you know what we're talking about and everything, see what's going on. Other than that, I have nothing to do.
I find that hard to believe.
Well, I got my dad next door. He's talking to somebody and I don't know what's going on.
As long as he's doing okay.
He's doing great. I got him up here. I got him up here this afternoon. He's doing good.
Glad he's with you, John.
He's doing, he's got his treatments tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So I had to get him up here because I wasn't sure what the storm was going to do. So
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah,
he's doing good.
good.
The weather's not sounding real good.
Yeah, it's not sounding good, but at least I got him up where I got control.
Yep.
And I appreciate this board for, you know, supporting me for everything that's going on with me.
You're more than
What we
welcome.
can do.
JT, I want to bring something up while I got you. And if you're not ready to talk about it, that's okay, because you got a lot on your plate, but and I can let Michelle do a little bit of elaborating on this, but we got word recently from NYSERDA that they're now gonna start doling out grant money for sustainability projects.
Nice.
And we also found out in regards to our CCA program and actually the solar piece, the community solar piece, while we didn't have a huge sign up, I think we had something like 62 people, 62 residents sign up for the community solar. The village gets, I think it's $50 a piece back for sustainability projects. I think I've, gone over this before. So it's about $3,000. And, anybody else who signs up for community solar, it's a continuum. You still get some kickback from that. But more importantly, besides that 3,000 is the possibility of the grant funding from NYSERDA. And I know Michelle is going to be looking into this. She's sat in on a webinar. They provide, if you will, counselors to help you through the process. I'm not saying you, John, I'm saying us as a board. So where I'm going with it is, before we can go out for a grant, we need to pin down what we want to use the money for. And I know you and I have talked before, and we've mentioned it in board meetings about LED street lighting.
Absolutely.
And you brought something up the other night when I was talking with you, and I can't remember what it was, some other project you were thinking of. You remember what it was?
No, my main concern, I want to do with Carol with that, Main Street grant. And then if we can do the LED with the 3 lights, that would pay for a lot of it.
So what we should do, Carol and maybe Michelle,
And me, I'm fine with it. Yep.
sit down and kind of talk out a plan so that we can put something down on paper when it comes to application time for a grant. And I know we also talked, John, I just remembered what we talked about. We talked about the wastewater treatment plant and, the electricity that it costs to run that, along with the electricity for street lighting and so forth.
Right.
And that's a project we could look into as well, but I think we've even toyed with the idea of putting a solar array down there on the property to run the plant. That's gonna,
That's been in the works probably for about 2 or 3 years. If they'll support it, I think we can do it. But the problem is trying to get these grants, you got to do, just like with every other grant, you got to do a feasibility study.
yeah,
So you got to, we got acreage down there that we could put solar. We talked about it.
yeah.
And when John Holden was here, we talked about cell tower down there. So, there's a lot of possibilities down there to improve that, not improve the plant, but, get some of our money back.
Yep, we need to figure out at least a ballpark figure on what a solar array would cost down there. And then whether or not this grant program, could amount to enough money to help with that, or whether we should just focus on the LED lighting. So
So I could, oh, sorry. I was say, I could speak to that just for a second here. So there's different tiers to these grants, right? And the neat thing is it's kind of like point based, if you will. And so we have, I think it's about 3,500 points sitting in our point bank, if you will, for doing the CCA and for doing the community solar piece. So those points should allow us, like phase 1, access to grant money. And then what's neat about these points is that it's additive. So for example, if we were to add LED streetlights, then we're going to get 900 points added to our bank of points that moves us to that next tier of grants. And then
So
there's all
Michelle,
different, yeah.
Do you need a study or a report or just?
I don't think
something-
so. I don't think so. Because
Just
depending on
something
the
that you're
tier
gonna
of
go?
grant money, so, the tier of grant money, it depends on which tier you're in. You have to give cause or reason as to why you're doing something, right? And then I had a conversation with Sue, and Sue was asking me, because I had questions after attending this NYSERDA webinar. And Sue said to me, as a village, are you interested in kind of getting ready to take that next step of putting a solar farm somewhere, right? And then I'll give you another example. And I'm not saying these are things that we have to do, but if we were to say, move the village fleet to clean energy, right? We would get points for that. If we did, like a little solar farm, you get points to that. So there's all these different things that you can acquire points for. And it's just a matter of what do we want to go in first and get, but you can almost, I don't want to say double dip, but you kind of can. So, so maybe you take and spend some money on the LED lights, and then that's going to put points in your bank. And then, that kind of opens up the next round of funding, and you kind of keep building, the points. So, and then the person that we would work with, we kind of direct him, so it's quite there's a lot of work behind it, but it can be done. And from what Sue said, he does a lot of the work for us. It's his job. He's called a CEC. So it's like a clean energy
Clean energy counselor, right?
counselor. Thank you. I'm like, what's the last C? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so
So-
I think if we contact a clean energy counselor, which I think we have a name that
Yep.
we could do that with through Sue, then maybe that individual could help us through even this initial planning stage. They'll be able to answer some of these questions like John has, like, okay, what's required for, if we want to do a solar farm, what's required for LED lighting or whatever. And maybe that individual, that counselor could help us jumpstart the process.
Yeah, you get 900 points for LED streetlights. Clean,
So-
if you had clean fleets, you get up to 1,100 points.
So my next question is, so we've been every light that goes out in the Village of Victor through Main Street, we've been converting over to LED. Do we get credit for that?
I think we do, John. I think I read somewhere in this process that we can get credit for things we've done.
I think the big thing, Gary, is they just have to be certified. So we would
Yeah.
just need like documentation. I would say like showing how we've changed them out.
Right?
And then the CEC could help us get those certified, is what I understand.
Yeah, because every time there's a bulb that goes out anywhere in the village that we own a light or we pay energy on, I've converted it, I've had my guys convert it to LED.
Okay.
So I don't know how I can document that, how many lights we've done it and how much it's cost us.
Okay.
That's why I put it in the budget. I mean, it's costly, but it saves us a ton of money. And then when we did the audit, I think it was last year, they had some company came in there and we saved, a lot, not a lot of money, but there was some money saved.
Well, I appreciate the discussion, and I think we need to, like I said, Michelle, Carol, sit down with John, or if one of you can't, I will sit down. As long we obviously can't have three of us there, but so we can pin down some facts and figures on our end of things, and then contact this clean energy. He's actually a clean energy coordinator, and get the ball rolling, because all this grant money is first come, first serve.
Right.
And
And
there's
the
a
largest, yeah, sorry, Gary, the largest amount is $70,000.
in the first tier.
No, 75,000 is like tier 1, and then it goes up from there. I believe it's 5, and then it goes, the highest tier is 70, if I remember right.
And I would forward that information to Diane, because Diane's been great with our grant stuff, without hiring like LaBella and everybody else. See if we can do it in-house.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So-
Michelle, I've got a question.
Yeah.
The number of people that are signed up for the solar option, does that affect our grant money at all? Or is
No.
that, okay, so
Good
there's no
question.
there's no advantage to us to push that any harder? Because I didn't think they did a very good job of promoting that. And it's a straight 4% off your bill. I mean, there wasn't very much to it other than that.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
Yeah.
If I can just jump in, we really still ought to push it, because we do get a direct kickback to the village for everyone who signs up for community solar.
do you think, Gary, that sending something out with a water bill or somehow encouraging people would be helpful?
I think
I don't know
so.
the best way to do it.
I think so, but I know that there's a lot of confusion right now about the community solar program, or not the community solar so much, but the CCA program. Source Power, has created some confusion by sending out multiple letters that didn't seem to say the same thing. And so I think we need to, and I know Sue Hughes Smith, our advisor, if you will, is working on cleaning that up with Source Power. And then we need to communicate with the public and try and straighten things out for them. And then, you know, we could, at the same time, we could reintroduce the community solar piece. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
So that's a hot topic right now on Nextdoor. I mean, somebody should address this.
I know, Mike, you told me that, and I absolutely want to address it in some way. I'm just trying to, through Sue, figure out what the best way is. And I don't want to be doing something if Source Power is doing something else and so forth. But we absolutely need to address it.
Well, so, I mean, Source Power isn't going to jump on Nextdoor.
No,
And I mean, you get Mike whether you want Mike or not, right? Like you guys, so we don't want to make the same mistake we did with the water. So, I mean, it's real time right now, and I think you or Michelle should address it, being the experts. So it's, you know, I mean, there are people talking about it every day. Carol's doing a good job, you know, fending off the dogs, but you have to remember too that if we put something out there, the majority of people read it and accept it and don't reply because they understand, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense.
That makes sense, right?
It's the naysayers who jump in and keep the conversations going. You know?
yeah, I understand.
And I don't think we have to address every naysayer. I think we just need to make a statement. This is what it is. This is how it works. More to come in the future, and be done.
Yeah, now the town every once in a while will put something like an official something on Nextdoor. Can't we do that? Can we do that? Do we have access to do that somehow?
I
Yeah, absolutely.
We should.
guess we can through Roseanne.
Okay. I mean, just, yeah, put it out there, like you said, just, this is how it works. People are confused.
But I
I
do
thought
like,
they were
I
signed up
mean, I
for
don't want to wait
solar
for it,
and-
but I do like Bob's idea with the water bill too.
Yeah,
So, you know,
Yeah,
right. It's not everybody's on Nextdoor, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, in theory, I think we would, you know, I just made this up. I don't have any facts to back it, but I think if we send it with the water bill, we're probably hitting just about everybody that we touch with this thing, right? That's,
right.
you know,
Water bills come out again when, Pam?
Till
April.
April.
April 1st.
It's probably too long to wait.
All right. I will formulate something, send it to Michelle, let her look at it, and we'll get something out there. My only hesitation in doing that is I'm not on Nextdoor myself. So I'm not, I know, hearing things firsthand, but I don't want to add to any confusion. And I want to put a statement out there to the public that if you want to talk about the CCA or the community solar program, please contact me. Here's my email, here's my phone number, and I will be happy to speak with you one-on-one.
Well, I think
I
the
don't know.
first,
Gary,
I think the first thing should be an invite to a meeting. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
And not to scare people away, because I mean, I welcome anybody at any meeting, but when you put it out there, hey, come to a meeting, all of a sudden the naysayers aren't as loud as they think they are.
and I would
No.
be very happy to have a meeting, but the question is, can we accomplish that under the COVID situation we're in?
Well, we have a meeting every other Monday. I mean, they
Yeah,
can
we
come.
do, we do, but you know, if there's a bunch of people on Nextdoor, as you guys tell me there are, talking about these programs, maybe we would get a lot of people at a meeting that we wouldn't been able to accommodate.
Could we move it to the town hall? That gives us more space.
We probably could,
I
depending
don't know if
on,
we're gonna get that many people.
fire
Yeah.
department.
Or the fire department?
I mean, you have to remember how easy this is. So I think that the statement that has to be made is it wasn't our choice. The Public Service Commission says, if we go for community aggregate, everybody in the community gets put in. You know, that wasn't a choice made by the Village of Victor. That's a choice made by New York State.
That's a lot of the issue right now is
Right.
why
And
did I get opted in?
how
Why
easy it is to
why
opt
did I
out.
have the choice to opt in.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, like I said, I'll put something in writing. I'll get a statement out there. And we can extend an invitation to the public to come to a meeting. And I guess we'll figure it out where the meeting's going to be. Who knows how many people we'll get? I mean, there's,
You can always have people register to come.
I was just thinking that, Carol. Yeah.
that's a good idea.
Hmm.
So we can get an idea of how many people.
Right.
That could go out with the statement.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys for the discussion, and I'll get on it.
I can help, Gary.
All right. Mike, thanks for not letting me drop the ball.
thanks for putting it so kindly.
Well, I sometimes have a tendency of doing that, but I can usually pick it back up. That's a good thing.
Game's not over.
Okay, JT, thanks for your patience with our discussion tonight. And we will get moving on the sustainability stuff. Any trustee reports tonight?
Gary, just real quick, since JT brought it up, I did a webinar about the Community Development Block Grant. Because we were thinking that maybe we could use something like that with the projects that he's got in mind.
Yep.
And that particular grant, we could not use.
Because we don't meet the criteria.
Qualify.
We don't qualify. There are only very certain projects, and that money comes from HUD to New York State, and it has to benefit a large low to moderate income population that we don't have. And
Yeah, so the median income in Victor is too high.
you're right, our percentage of low to moderate income does not meet their threshold.
Okay.
But I'm looking at some other, I'm trying to find some other sources of funding. And I did run across something today in the New York Main Street guidelines. And I'm gonna try to get in touch with Kathy Rayburn, and I'm gonna keep on that because I read something that makes me think we might be able to get something there. So I will keep doing that and looking for other sources and let you know what I find out.
I appreciate that, Carol. And this is for our downtown revitalization?
Yeah, one of our projects that we want to start with, right?
Appreciate your work on it. Anybody else?
I don't have anything.
I don't either because I had to miss tree board because we were in budget workshop.
Mike, anything else?
You and I had a quick meeting with the library, and they seem to have an aggressive plan to move forward to get the architectural review done this quarter and get a purchase offer in for next quarter, contingent on, a budget vote in May of '22.
Yeah, it was an encouraging meeting. Unfortunately, we can't share a lot of details about it at the moment, but Mike summed it up very well. Okay, myself, we have tonight a resolution to schedule a public hearing for the purpose of overriding the tax cap. And I will ask if there's a motion for that resolution.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Mike,
I'll second it.
a second by Bob. Now we have opportunity for discussion and for the public's benefit. If anybody's out there listening now or later on, anybody on the board can chime in. We have decided to resolve to override the tax cap because we are fairly close to it in the current budget calculations we have for our upcoming budget year of 21-22. And we're close enough where we don't want to take a chance on accidentally going over the tax cap. So we have chosen to, or we will, if we pass this resolution, be choosing to override the tax cap to be safe, just in case we do go over slightly over the tax cap. We're not the only municipality doing it. The town's done it. And probably lots of others have done it, particularly this year. So is there any other thoughts, comments on the resolution to override the tax cap? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? None. Okay. I think that's all I have. Oh, code enforcement.
I think we should go into executive session for that.
Okay,
I mean, based on a personnel matter, I'm going to make that motion.
okay.
I'll second that.
Before we, before we vote on that, Reed, do you have any comments on any other business for us tonight?
No, I don't.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second to go into executive session for the public's benefit. We're going to speak regarding personnel. And when we come out of executive session, there will be no further business tonight except for adjournment. So at this point, all in favor for executive session?
Are you asking,
Aye.
are you
Yes,
asking
it is.
Pam and JT and I to be present?
Yes, I'm sorry, just gonna say that, the attorney stay, and the whole board and the clerk. So all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None.